Hey now, what's up? It is your girl Sid, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am so happy to be bringing yet another faith video for you. Today I am answering a question that I received through a comment, and I just want to elaborate more on it and give you guys clarity for what you could be looking out for out here in these streets as Christians today. If you are new here, what's up? My name is Sydney. I'm the founder of EMW. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, so that you do not miss a thing. Join our Empire, Queenship, and Dynasty. Okay, I'm speaking to the queen in you. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into this video. So today we're talking about music and how that affects us today as Christians and what we need to be looking out for. Okay, so the question that I received, the comment that I received, it says they were very thankful for a video that I had done, and then wanted to know, had a question on my thoughts on Maverick City music, and asking if they are birthed out of this ministry. So this is kind of referring to the Michael Todd video and everything, seeing if they are birthed out of this ministry. The comment says, I like them, but I wanted to know where they come from. As I stopped listening to Bethel, Elevation, and Hillsong, I was wondering, should we stop listening to them as well? So I just want to say thank you so much for this comment and, asking this question. So I definitely wanted to give a little bit of background stuff and insight on it, and just a little bit more detail to help you guys understand what's going on out here in the Christian community, in music, in the unsound doctrine, false disciples and prophets and all this stuff that's going on out here. Okay, so to answer this question, so it says, just having a question on the thoughts of Maverick City music and if they're birthed out of this ministry. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of insight about me, where I kind of come from, and understanding all of this research and everything. So I actually used to listen to Bethel, Elevation, Hillsong, and Maverick City. Okay, I used to attend Elevation Church. Okay, and I'm actually gonna do a video on that, so be on the lookout for that as well. But because someone asked me to do a video on that, so I will be giving you some more insight on that too, why I left Elevation Church. Okay, so Bethel, Elevation, Hillsong, and Maverick City music. So I actually used to listen to all of them, and they all are in the same type of music, contemporary Christian music. Okay, so when you look at it, they all fall under contemporary music, contemporary Christian music today. So I want you to know that contemporary music, Christian music today, and gospel, the Christian music is changing. It is not the same as it used to be growing up in a traditional black church or whatever. It is, the music today is different. Okay, and what I'm trying to say is it is very hypnotizing, and if you don't know anything about that, you need some musician friends, you need some people who understand music to reassure you. Okay, because they know if their gift and passionate about, if their gift is music or they're passionate about it, they understand that music is hypnotizing. It's different things that you can do to manipulate music. What I'm trying to say is it's different things that you can do to music to affect people. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And have a positive impact or a negative impact where people will not even realize what's going on. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so all of these churches, because Bethel, that's a church, Elevation is a church, Hillsong is a church, and Maverick City is just a group, a music kind of like collective group and stuff like that, where they bring in artists to collaborate and everything like that. And so so they all are under the genre of contemporary Christian music. So what I'm trying to say is it is not what you think it is, and it is hypnotizing, it is repetitive, it is it'll have some truth in there, but it's really like leading people astray. Okay, and some of the music within these these churches and these groups, it is can be demons singing. That's what I'm trying to say. I want you guys to really understand that demons understand who God is, okay? The devil know who Jesus is, and you gotta look at the beginning, okay? How Satan, that was his gift, that was his craft, that's what he was the head over up in heaven. He was kicking it with Jesus. He was kicking it with the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. He was kicking it with God, okay? He was an angel, and thought that he deserved it all, okay? And so what I'm trying to say is, before he got kicked out of heaven, Satan was the director of music, okay? Even his body was made of like instruments and stuff. So he is the master behind all of this. So don't think that Satan is not going to creep up into Christian music and all of that type of stuff and doctrine and everything like that to manipulate and to deceive people, okay? So if you have a problem with what I'm saying, this channel isn't for you. If you have a comment, listen, that's going to be smart, you're going to get blocked, okay? I'm not even playing at this point, because you either have the ears to hear or you don't. And I'm just trying to speak to people who and at the end of the day, you know, you are held accountable. After you hear this video and Michael Todd video and certain things that I speak on that deals with research and to bring awareness, you are held accountable after you hear it. If you don't know anything about all of this, God cannot, you know, he cannot hold you accountable for something that you do not know. But once you are aware and he brings it into the light, baby, you are accountable for what you have heard. So that's all I had to say on this video as well. Just to let you know what's going on over here on this channel, okay? So if you don't like it, you might want to go ahead to another channel, all right? That's gonna give you what you want to hear, that's nice and sweet. But over here we keep it real and raw and give you nothing but truth. And so that's what I'm trying to do, okay? So what I'm trying to say with all of these groups and these churches is that, you know, it can be demons, it's demon singing, and you also need to look at their doctrine. What are they preaching? If they're preaching prosperity, word of faith, all of that, what they're putting into their music is not pure, okay? And you have people like artists today who are, you know, claiming they are Christian, claiming they love the Lord, and then they are walking away. Like, there was this guy, I can't remember his name, he did that recently, talking about he's not a Christian no more, you know, was singing with a Christian group and everything, well known, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that the music that's out here today is actually leading people astray. It's feel good, and it's very similar to the truth and stuff, but like you could get so caught up in the sound and the repetition and all of it that you kind of miss what's going on. And so what I'm trying to say is, especially Bethel, you know, Hillsong, they are false, okay? They are not from the Lord. Yeah, and it's just like the music is on a whole nother level. Like, it's not, and what's crazy is it sounds so good, it sounds so pleasing, it sounds so great, but a lot of the music, just like the doctrine, is talking about us. It's talking about what God can do for us, how great we are. It really builds you up instead of putting the focus on Jesus and on the truth and the gospel, okay? So what I would say about Maverick City is that it is something that, something that we should stop listening to as well, because this music, when I went to look it up, now I had to actually stop listening to all of it altogether, and it was very hard. That's what I'm trying to say, because I had to go some weeks without worship music, and you know, the Lord really convicted me, because I understood before all of that. I started understanding like false stuff and what's going on out here in today, in the world today, and what's going on with this doctrine, how Satan is slipping up in it and manipulating the doctrine, okay, and leading people astray. So the music, I had to cut back on the music, and I actually felt convicted. Like, when I wanted to listen to a specific song, you know, and I would try to go listen to it, it was like I could feel God on my back, like, that's not okay, that's not what you need to be listening to. And so what I want to say is you got to look at where it's coming from. If the church doctrine isn't right, the music is not going to be right, okay? So Maverick City, and this person actually said they already stopped listening to Bethel, Elevation, and Hillsong and just wondering about Maverick City. So Maverick City, that should not be listened to as well, just because they are filtered through Bethel. So if you did not know this, you got to do your research. You got to do your investigation, okay? I had to go into looking at that because I actually liked them. But when I started seeing the collaboration from Bethel artists that came over to Maverick City, you know, they all collaborate. They don't care. They collaborate. So Elevation, Bethel, Hillsong, all of them are collaborating with Maverick City. Maverick City's all up in Bethel, and all of those churches as well that I'm mentioning, they all are collaborating. They all run in the same circle, okay? So, you know, Maverick City, although they may use scripture, although it sounds really good and it seems like it's worship, okay, you got to break down where it's coming from, what's going on with it, and who it's filtered through. So Maverick City, okay, when I went to look it up for myself, their music is actually filtered through Bethel, okay? So Bethel has all this stuff going on. Bethel has a school of music, school of prophecy, school of speaking in tongues, school, all of that. And they have their own, they have their music, they have their publishing company and all of that. So Maverick City is actually the one who, Bethel is the one who actually publishes Maverick City's music. So their music is filtered through Bethel. So you got to look at, okay, if it's filtered through Bethel, am I okay with that? You got to ask yourself, like, if I don't want to listen to Bethel, if I know where Bethel music is coming from, and if none of y'all believe me, go look up Bethel, okay? Go look up how demonized it is. Go look up how it traces back to Oral Roberts. Go look up this stuff for yourself, okay? I'm going to actually give y'all some links in the description, but go look it up for yourself, because it is what it is. It's all out here for everybody to see, okay? How they bringing in witchcraft and all this stuff into the church. Like, it's not even a church. It's a cult. And it is what it is. Like, y'all have to realize that, you know, the days are evil, that if you don't understand Satan's schemes, you're going to be fooled. You're going to be played, and you're going to drift away, and you're going to be worshiping a Jesus that is not the Jesus in the word. What does Paul tell us? He says that, you know, yeah, they preaching Jesus, but they not preaching the Jesus that we know, okay? So I want you to understand that, yeah, people are going to be preaching Jesus all day long, left and right, but it doesn't mean that it is the Jesus that is in the Bible, the Jesus that we know, okay? It's a false Jesus, a misinterpretation of the real Jesus. Like, it's not. So then people gonna talk about, I did this in your name, did this in your name, and God is going to be like, I never knew you. Depart from me, you evildoers, okay? You got to understand that not everybody who says Jesus is preaching Jesus, the real, true Jesus, okay? So I just want y'all to know that. But, yeah, Maverick City is definitely filtered. That music goes through Bethel. So just know that Bethel is over that and is in control of what's being, the lyrics and all of that. I also want to say this can be controversial because, you know, I think some people can take a fish basically and pick out the bones. So you could say, you know, okay, I'm mature enough. I can take out what's real, like determine, differentiate what's real and what's not. Okay. But it goes down to pleasing the Lord. Like, if you understand, okay, this is false, this is not right, this person is not standing for truth, whatever, just like Lauren Daigle, okay? God had to convict me on all of that. So you got to be mature in the Lord and understand, like, okay, if they're not standing for truth, if they're not doing specific, you know, things, or it's not coming from the right places, why should I still be supporting them? Why should I still be listening to them? And God really had to show me that. And, you know, I could have made the decision to actually, keep listening to some of this stuff, like, because some people may say, well, what you talking about? You know, my relationship with God is my relationship with God. Because I could have said that to the Lord. Like, I could have because I know who God is and my relationship with God. Although I know, okay, I don't agree with what they just said, or they ain't speaking truth, like in interviews, you need to watch these people speak as well, okay? Not just sing. You know, they ain't talking right. They're not lining up with the word. They are trying to use, because understand that some of these artists out here are using gospel or worship music to propel them into the secular world. And then people who are falling out of the secular world are trying to land on gospel and use it as a cushion so that they are not fully out of music altogether, the music industry. So you have to really break everything down and look at that, okay? Because it's people who doing that today. Just saying, okay? They using it to propel and launch them into the world. Let me say that again so y'all understand and hear me. Propelling them into the world, the secular world, and then they get praised in the secular world. And they leave gospel. And then if something happens to an artist out here in the secular world, oh, they falling back on gospel and worship music. So what I'm trying to say is you have to pay attention. Keep your eyes and ears open, okay? Because that's what's really happening out here. So as far as Maverick City music, they should not be listened to, okay? And so what I was trying to say about myself is that, yeah, I could say, oh, my relationship with God. Y'all could be saying the same thing. Say what? Like, my relationship with God, like, I know who he is, this and that, and I'm gonna still listen to them. And, you know, you could still kind of justify and say, like, well, you know, even though their stuff is not pure, or where they're coming from with it is kind of like to the left, you know, or it's hypnotizing or whatever, I know who I'm worshiping. I know in my worship time, I'm connecting to Jesus. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you want to be careful who you're supporting. You want to honor God in everything that you're doing. And if you are being held accountable, you're seeing this video, you obviously know that there's something wrong with it now. So you can't say anything when you're led astray or where it leads you to doctrine, because, you know, sometimes people will say, you know, well, because sometimes what will happen is people will look at the music if they never heard of the church, like Bethel, for example, or Hillsong. If they never heard of the church, they may hear the music and then go be led to look at the church and at the doctrine. Okay, so, and not everybody is mature enough in God to even understand that their doctrine is off, okay, or how they are preaching is not the truth, it's unsound. So I want you to just be very aware of that and know also that some people will say, like, well, as long as we examine what they are saying, because what you honestly can do with some of these churches is examine what they're saying. You know, you can look at the scriptures word for word. Some people don't feel like doing that, and some people do, and they say, well, as long as, because that's what I'm saying, some people will avoid it altogether, and some people will say, you know what, I'm just gonna look at their script, I'm just gonna look at their lyrics. I'm just gonna see how true are their lyrics. And so you can do that, but if you're asking me, okay, I would not recommend that. I would just toss it to the left altogether, okay, because you don't want to be a part of anything. You don't want to play with fire. That's what I'm trying to say. So you definitely want to make sure, like, you know, you can examine everything, look at every single lyric of a song, but just understand that, you know, it's on you at the end of the day. If you feel convicted, if you feel like, you know, you shouldn't be listening to it, you shouldn't be, okay? And yeah, just know, because you also want to look at music and see, like, hey, can it stand on its own? Like, if these lyrics are not pointing people to Jesus, if nobody can be saved through listening to this song, and I'm talking about understanding the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, understanding salvation, they cannot come to Christ off of this song, it does not need to be listened to, okay? So just understand that right there, all right? But yeah, I would just avoid it altogether. That's what basically needs to happen. And it's hard because I was one of those people who liked them. I liked Maverick City, okay? I can't even lie. I liked them. And I liked Bethel. I liked Elevation. I liked Hillsong. But I had to leave. So you gotta love Jesus more than you love all this music and these artists out here. Hello, somebody. Okay. So you need to love the Lord more. So if he's calling you out of that stuff, if he's telling you hello through this video, you know, it's not what you think it is, then it needs to be tossed to the left. And he will give you music that is from pure vessels, people who are trying to really be mindful and careful, in particular about what they are putting in music today. Okay, but understand that the contemporary worship music today is all over the place, and it's actually crossing into other type of, you know, music and stuff like that. They're all meshing together, they're all collaborating together, like, you know, they don't care. They're crossing over into everything. As far as working with one another, like all the groups that I just mentioned today, they all work with each other. So you got to look at that. They all sit down and write together. So if they are not understanding the doctrine, you see what I'm saying? If they are not serving the living true God, it is their own perception, their own, like, you know, they have conjured up some things, especially if they attend these churches. You see what I'm saying? If you are part, if they're writing the music, they go to these churches. So you got to examine everything, examine the church, okay? And so if you are married or if you're not, you need to get yourself, get your family up out of these churches, get out of this music. You have to be, you know, separate from it, not wanting to deal with any of that. Because there are Neo-Evangelical people. I'm gonna have to do a whole video on this, okay? Because then somebody gonna be in the comments, what does that mean? What is that? Okay, so Neo-Evangelical people who, you know, will mix with, you know, falsehood and all that stuff, but there's a line, but they will still kind of cross over into, you know, mingling with people who are not teaching right and singing right and all of that. And then you got fundamentalists who are behind the line of obedience. They want to stay far away from all this stuff and this cult stuff and everything. I'm gonna have to do a video on that because you need to know about it, okay? It's that important, it's that deep. So that's just a little bit of background though. And if you're wondering if you should listen, if Maverick City should be cut out, so yeah, sorry to break it to you, okay? Sorry, but not sorry, okay? Because it's for your own good. So, you know, some things that you can listen to, if you're looking at this video and it's like, dang, well, all those groups, you know, I really love them. What do I listen to now? First of all, you need to pray on it, okay? I had to literally go without music for a little bit because it was just like, oh my goodness, contemporary music seems so, you know, so cool, so just, it felt really good. You know, it was a difference between what I grew up on. So I was able to experience that, but then the Lord really brought me back. So stick to hymns, and there are different types of hymns. You know, there are like a cappella and different ones that, you know, they don't have to be real old school and stuff like that. And try to just stick to fundamentalist churches and the churches that are trying to preach the truth, sound doctrine. And you know what? The churches that are trying to preach sound doctrine and they are, you know, independent Baptists or whatever, they really trying to stick to truth. You will hear them actually talk about this stuff. You will hear them talk about false stuff. You will hear them letting you know about the things that's going on in music today. You will hear them literally give you the inside scoop on everything that's going on. Like, they gonna really know what's up with charismatic stuff, word of faith, prosperity. They're going to know about it. But these churches and the ones that are actually in these type of movements, they're not talking about none of that. They on the hush. And this is why people don't know about it, okay? This is why I'm getting questions like this, because they're not actually talking about it, because they in it. So I'm trying to let you know, like, this is a real thing. And yeah, you really want to pay attention to it. And I'm gonna leave you with this. This was probably when I left Elevation and when I, you know, really started understanding music and stuff. But leaving Elevation, that was probably the most the time that I was most thankful, the time that I was most appreciative of the Lord and me being in my singleness, me not being married. Because when you are married, you know, you got to get everybody out. You got to get yourself out. You got to worry about your husband. As a woman or as a man, you got to worry about your wife and your kids. You got to get everybody out because you have everybody's spirit to worry about. But, you know, that was probably the most, that was probably the time that I was the most grateful to not be married. And that is so funny, but it's like, it's true, because when the Lord called me out of that church and out of this music and all this stuff, I was like, yes, like, it's only me that I have to worry about. And I really felt that in my heart, like, oh my goodness, thank you, Lord. I felt that the weight, and was just like so thankful, because, you know, I would have had to worry about everybody else. But as a single woman, you get to worry about yourself. You get to worry about, or a single man, you get to worry about your spirit. And see, when you are married, you have the concerns of the world going on, the concerns of your husband. So it's easier to miss. He's the covering. So as, you know, a single woman, you are concerned about the things of God. So it was easy for me to be in tune with God, to hear the Lord, to get up and go when he said move. Like, I only had to worry about me. So you really need to examine that, especially before getting into a relationship and stuff. You know, make sure that you are just content in your singleness and really, you know, being thankful, because God, you know, you only have to worry about yourself right now. Okay. So I hope that this video helped you. But definitely look at the artists in Maverick City. Look at, you know, you just keep your eyes open. Look at them. Look at what they're singing. Look at what's going on with the musicians and what churches they attend. You have to do your research. So you have to make time for it, or look at videos like this where I'm doing it and trying to come back and tell you all about it. Okay, I wanted to add this clip in here because I forgot to mention that Maverick City is not birthed out of Michael Todd's church. They do not come from that ministry, or that is not a ministry, but they don't come from that organization. Okay, that religious organization. They do not come from there. Okay, so yeah, but I just want to add that in here as well. It's not birthed out of there, but they all collaborate, and there are other churches who are actually unaware of these type of songs. Okay, so if you have already cut out this music, you know, Maverick City and stuff, they need to be cut out as well. So if you have cut them out, make sure that you're not in a church that's singing these songs. Or if you are, you know, make sure that it's up to you whether you want to sing it or not. Okay, for me personally, I know a church, their doctrine is so good, it is sound, it slices me and dices me, and they actually understand all of this stuff, but then they still pick and choose what they want to sing from these churches. So instead of cutting it out altogether, I'm like, y'all need to cut it out altogether. But instead of doing that, they're just like, you know, we're examining every, you know, we're examining the lyrics. And if the congregation, if most people are not okay with it, or it's going to lead them astray, we're not going to sing it. But if it's true, and if it's pretty much sound, they are willing to sing it. But to me, it's like, you need to just cut it out altogether. You already know about charismatic stuff. You already know, you see what I'm saying? Some churches are a little lenient, and they'll be like, we'll sing it anyway. They're Neo-Evangelical, so they'll be like, we'll just sing it, or we're writing our own music anyway. But if this song from this church is pretty much okay, we'll tolerate it, we'll accept it, and we'll sing it anyway. So you gotta be careful of those type of churches as well. Get in a church that, you know, it doesn't want to sing this stuff at all. Okay, but if you are in a church, or you come across a church that they at least know about what's going on, you can at least make the decision for yourself. Hey, I'm not gonna sing this song today. I'm gonna put it on mute. You know, I'm just gonna stand here. Like, I'm not gonna participate in singing this. And then when y'all switch the song to a different one, I'll sing it. So it's like, you really just gotta figure out what's best for you. But this is my opinion. This is what, you know, my advice that I would give, you know, y'all today, asking me this question. Okay, so I just want to throw this clip in here as well to answer that question. If Maverick City comes out of Transformation Church, and it does not. Okay, another clip that I wanted to put in here is that, you know, there are a lot of symbols going on as well. So when you look at this music today, right, in the contemporary worship music today, there are a lot of symbols going on. One of them being pyramids. Okay, so if you look at churches today, you know, they have this whole big shebang going on, this whole big concert or whatever. They have lights going on, and you will literally see pyramids everywhere. You'll see you know, all of that. It's on their covers. It's Egyptian type of symbols and certain things. The eye, I think it's like an Indian eye or whatever it's called, like the third eye, and just like all of this stuff that is going on. So look at the covers of these music artists, and it's really like, you could, once you understand what I'm saying, you will pick up on it. Okay, so you got to look at like Elevation, some of their covers, Bethel, Maverick City, like the art, okay, behind the work is like, it's not good. It's actually pointing to false stuff, but people overlook it because they have no idea what's going on. Okay, so that's really a big thing. Pyramids and like prisms and stuff like that that's going on out here in this music, and they're putting it, you know, out here like lines, you know, they look like lines and certain things like that that's going on. So you gotta understand, be mature if you're going to be you know, if you looking at this stuff, you need to understand, be mature, and be able to pick this stuff out. But ultimately, I would run far to the left from all of this stuff. Okay, you know, put your track shoes on, get going, because you know it's harder out here, and it's getting harder to see it, because Satan wants it all covered up. So it's slithered in there. It's not just out bold for you to understand and see. But once you come across videos like this and you get the breakdown of everything, you're gonna see it, and it's going to amaze you. Okay, and I can recommend some people right now in this video. One of the people being Spencer Smith. Definitely go check him out on YouTube, okay, because a lot of his videos, he has a lot of research about all of this stuff that is really awesome, that you should definitely go check out today, right now, after this video. Go check him out. His name is Spencer Smith, okay. He does a lot on this as well. So that's somebody that I wanted to give you a resource for you guys to leave you with as well, just so that, you know, you can understand it more. He goes in a little bit more depth in his videos than this one. Okay, so I'm going to try to be doing videos like that as well. It does take a lot of research, but I know that his whole ministry is dedicated towards that, and going like to different places to do ministry, like Africa, different continents and stuff like that. So definitely go check him out today. And yeah, I just wanted to throw this clip in here as well. So I hope that this video helps you. This is all I have for you in this video. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel today so that you do not miss anything on faith, life, and relationships and research like this. Yeah, so I love you guys so much. Thank you for this question. Continue to send me your question. And yeah, I'll be coming out with a lot more videos and really cool things for the fellas and all the kings as well. So keep up with us today on each platform, and thank you so much, and I will see you guys